MSA Center Stage. Bob Orquist is videotaping the interview that I'm about to do with Matt Hampson. Congratulations. Thanks very much for your patience.
Thanks for
giving
having
us an opportunity. And I've had a chance to spend a good bit of time talking with you. What I found most interesting is you were telling me that you were, what, 100-something pounds, 190 pounds?
195 pounds.
Okay, as a sophomore.
That's right.
And then you found out you were going to be relied on in 10th grade.
Yes.
How'd that happen?
So right before the season started as a sophomore, our original starting left tackle quit. He decided he wanted to pursue lacrosse, so we were weightlifting right before beginning of fall camp, and my O-line coach comes up to me, pulls me aside, he's like, "Hey Hampson, our original offensive tackle quit. You're going to be starting O-line this year." So he's like, "Get ready. You know, I'll help you out, show you the ropes, but you got to get ready to go." And at the time, it was like, you know, I didn't know what to believe because, you know, I never played a varsity down in my life going in as a sophomore, but I know from each game to game, comparing from sophomore year to now, I've definitely come a long way.
Well, your team has come a long way. 2 years ago, just so, and then championship year last year, go to the state final. What did you feel was the most significant aspect of turning the program around at Pine-Richland?
I definitely feel like the biggest aspect for us was Coach Casper's his foundation of success that he paved for us. I know the sophomore year we had we were like really like jumping up with what we wanted to do offensively and defensively. We just couldn't get it going. So going into our junior year, we scrapped our offensive playbook. You know, we came in with our spread, pass attack offense, and we simplified our defense like a ton compared to recent years. And apart from that, I know all of the bonding that our team has had in recent years, that's definitely been another major factor in us being so successful today.
Matt, you're such a fine young man. I'm pleased to have this opportunity. Matt Hampson joining us from Pine-Richland after the quarterfinal win, a convincing win over Mount Lebanon. What's the most exciting thing about being a part of a championship team?
Definitely the brotherhood with the team. There's nothing like it. I mean, being in the locker room after big wins or tough losses, you know, you're always there for each other. I know, our coach says this every week, we're not promised, we're not guaranteed another week to play unless we win. So I know, every Thursday he says, "Hey, this is our last Thursday practice unless we win." So that kind of drive that we want to, play another week with each other, be with each other another week, that keeps us going because that brotherhood is just so strong with us every year.
Well said. Your plans for college?
I am most interested in service academies, Ivy League, Patriot League, the higher educational schools.
What would your major be if you went to one of the service academies?
Something with math. I really enjoy working problems, finding solutions. So whether, let's say, for example, I went to West Point, I could possibly be a major in logistics. If I went to an Ivy League school, I could focus more on engineering or business.
I find it interesting. You say, I'd like to find solutions. Is that what happens when you're playing on a football
That's exactly
field?
what happens.
Is that right? In what ways?
If we have a bad offensive drive, we just can't get things rolling, our offensive line coach pulls us to the side. We actually have a tablet that reviews the most recent plays. So it's kind of this cool tool that we utilize. So we can kind of see what we did wrong, right in the action, so we can improve on a snap like that.
Matt Hampson joining us. We were talking to the broadcast about this poster board that you have. Is that a state secret as to what all those things mean? Jurassic Park and the Dallas Cowboy emblem and the Buffalo Bills. Is that a big state secret?
It's kind of a secret to us, but I mean, basically the play, it's confidential.
Okay. All right. Well, at some point we're trying to figure out what all of that means. All right. Now, you told me that your dad is a rags to riches story.
Yes, he is.
Explain that to us.
Well, it's a funny story. He always tells his friends and buddies. He always tells them, I went to the Ivy League of Ohio Northern, but obviously, they're not a big school. But he had a 2.0 in high school, 2.0 in college. He says he has a 4.0 if you add up both semesters in college. But coming out of college, he had to work his way from the bottom with developing his own companies, whether it was healthcare, health services. He grew up from the bottom, and now in recent years he sold 3 or 4 of his companies, and he ended up being really successsul.
Congratulations to him. He's raised a great family. What does your mom do for a living?
She is also retired. She was a vice president of a company, and she graduated.
Another successful career.
She graduated from Carnegie Mellon.
Okay, and an older brother that's a geek by
That's
your
right,
terms,
that's right.
And a younger sister that's an equestrian rider. Yes? Tell us about those two people.
My younger sister, her name's Lauren. ever since she was growing up, she always collected horses. Like Briar horses is kind of like action figures for girls. You know how guys collect action figures, kind of like a girl thing.
Right.
So she always loved horses growing up, and that's how she got into the whole equestrian business with that. And from my brother, my mom told me that his very first word was light bulb. So like it wasn't mom or dad, it was light bulb.
Light bulb.
So that kind of set the stage for him being a geek he is today. But being a geek's not a bad thing. He's really good at what he does.
And the light bulb just went off. The bus is about to leave. Matt, thanks very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, great to
Appreciate
be
it.
with you. Good luck down the way, going the rest of the way. Matt Hampson joining us on MSA Center Stage.